Hi class, so thank you for joining me today. My name is Riley and this is my lesson plan. So I chose to do grade 1 math. All right, I'm gonna head over to my PowerPoint here. Present. So the grade 1 math I'm doing is fractions. Learning goals. So students will be able to identify fractions, divide them into halves, thirds, and quarters. So at the end of the lesson, they should know how to do this. The curriculum expectations is divide whole objects into parts and identify and describe through investigation equal sized parts of the whole using fractional names. So at the end of the lesson, students should be able to know what a fraction is, what a denominator is, and what a numerator is. So, introduction. I am going to start by introducing the subject, which is fractions, by video. I think this is a really fun way to engage the kids. You can tell everyone, all right, come over to the carpet, and you can start by playing your video. So I'm going to share my screen again. We're so lucky with all the technology we have. We can just find so many different resources online, and yeah, this is just one I found. So let's play it.
Fractions, they're parts of a whole. Fractions, they're what I know. They're equal pieces, they're parts of a pie. Fractions, they're alright. Half a pie, half a tree. Halves of different things are different sizes, you see. But a half is a half, big or small. It takes two halves to make one whole.
All right, so I won't be playing all of that for the sake of time, but you get the gist. Yeah, it's a fun way to introduce the topic that they're going to be learning about today. So moving forward, you will need Play-Doh for yourself and for everyone in your class. If you have any Play-Doh knives in the class as well, that would be really good to use, but you can also just use your ruler and all the students if they have rulers. So your cutting board, which is your table or desk or something, whatever you have to write on, your whiteboard, and your writing utensil, which is a marker, and all your worksheets. So mine's on. You can add, by introducing the lesson, you can ask them, so has anyone heard of a fraction before? Does that look familiar? And then you can start by teaching them. So I'd start by drawing a circle and saying, all right, how many circles did I draw? They should say 1, then you cut it in half. How many pieces did I cut the circle into? The students should be able to say 2. So then you color in one side. Now you say how many sides it's colored in. And they should be able to say 1. And you say in how many pieces is the circle cut into again? And they should know that it's 2. You can keep doing this. Oh, okay, whoops, I meant to cut that into 3. And you can do it with 1/3, color in the piece, just kind of go over that, say how many pieces did I cut the triangle into? 3. How many is colored in? 1. And continue to do this until you think that they should have understanding. So again, with this one, 1/4. So that's a good way to introduce it. Ask if anyone has any questions. And moving forward, we're going to move on to the hands-on part. So you're going to display your Play-Doh shape into your class and tell them that you want to give half of the shape to a person in the class. So you can use your ruler to cut whatever Play-Doh shape you did in half, and then you're going to give away 1/2 to a student volunteer. So after that, you're going to write the fraction 1/2 on the whiteboard. Then you're going to explain to the students that the denominator, which is the number on the bottom of the fraction, the number 2, tells how many equal parts the item is being divided into, and tell your class that the numerator, which is the number on top of the line, tells how many of those parts it's being referred to. So you can also, throughout this lesson, say which one's the denominator. They should say 2, and which one's the numerator. They should say 1. And then you're going to do this a few other times. So another example is you're going to show your students your Play-Doh piece, and tell them you're going to cut the shape into 3 equal pieces. So again, you're going to take your Play-Doh, you're going to cut it into 3 pieces. And then you're going to give 1/3 away to a student volunteer. So you're going to tell your class that you just gave away 1/3 of your Play-Doh, write 1/3 on the board, and explain once more to the students that the denominator tells how many equal parts the item is being divided into, and the numerator tells how many parts it is being referred to. So once more, you're going to do this as a group before anyone touches their Play-Doh. And I think that's a good idea too, is if the students have Play-Doh on their desk, this is a good way to test their self-control, that they won't be touching the Play-Doh until they have permission to. So you're going to show your students your Play-Doh shape and tell them you're going to cut the Play-Doh into 3 equal parts again. So you're going to divide your Play-Doh using the ruler. Then you're going to tell your student volunteer to take 2 of the 3 pieces, and then you're going to ask the class some questions. So you're going to say how many pieces of the Play-Doh was taken. Then you're going to choose a student to come to the front of the class and write the fraction that represents the pieces that were taken from the Play-Doh. So hopefully the student should write the correct answer, which is 2/3 on the board. And then you're going to choose the students to call out what the numerator is and what they think the denominator is. So you can repeat this process a few other times. And another group activity, if you want to have your kids in a group, is you can rip off one of those big pieces of paper that teachers have, and you can write a fraction on it, and the students in each group can divide their Play-Doh into whatever the fraction is and separate it, and then rotate. And you can do those things that picks random people, because it's always exciting being in a group, being in a new group with new people. So now, once you're done all that and everything is cleaned up, the Play-Doh's put away, you can start by doing activities as a group all together. So you can draw your circle like this, and everyone will be sitting at their desk, and then, oops, that's not working. Okay, and then you can write a fraction on the board. This one might be a bit tricky, but yeah, so then you can ask someone if they feel comfortable coming up here and drawing in the fraction. And you can continue to do this a few other times. This is a good way to get the students out of their comfort zone and to come up and write something in front of the class. So hopefully they should be able to color in whichever 3 pieces they want to do this. And then you can just keep doing different examples of that. Whoops. Then you can just make sure that everyone who has their hand raised has a chance to be able to do it. All right, so now we're going to be moving on to the independent work. So after the hands-on with the Play-Doh and the visual stuff, kids will feel comfortable enough to be able to start their independent work. And what I would do, instead of just placing 5 pages in front of them and they feel super overwhelmed with all these different worksheets, you can start by handing out 1 sheet at a time. So again, we're so lucky because I just printed off a few that I liked online. So the students can just follow the instructions, color in each one, and then once they're done this first sheet, they can hand it in to you, and you can check it over or circle if they made any mistakes with anything. And then good, they finished the first one. So they can move on to the second one. And same thing, there's also ones like this that I thought were very cool with the different colors it tells you, and you color in the different fractions. And yes, so once everyone's done their worksheets or the work period or the independent work period's up, they can do a little quiz. So this is a good way to make sure that every student has an understanding of if they have soaked in the lesson and they know the lesson, they can do a little quiz. So I just found this one that I like. And after that, I think that's it. So yeah, to close the lesson, you do your quiz and you review the definitions of a fraction, numerator, and denominator. So yeah, then the reward, if there's some free time and everyone is set and knows all their fractions, denominators, and numerators, you can reward the class by letting them have free time or do a fun group game. Like you could do like a little bingo thing with fractions, or play another fraction song or video, or they could just go play with their toys. So yeah, thank you for watching this. Bye.